goodbye. So buried you alive, 6 feet down, getting lower, going nowhere. It's not complicated, I'm just over it. Don't tell me everything is alright. I know you know. Don't tell me how to live my life. I'm breaking through tonight. Take this, hate this. You can feel the fire suffocating in your new life. No escaping. Say goodnight, darkness taking all your light. Don't tell me everything is alright. I know you know. Don't tell me how to live my life. I'm breaking through tonight. I'm breaking through tonight. I'm breaking through tonight. Get on your knees and bow I come alive, I'll survive, take on anything. So be a target on my back, let 'em cover me. What's up, fall, don't quit, don't ever sleep. 'Cause I'm on another level that you'll never reach. Legacy, forgiveness. You'll get nothing from me. You will never know it's the price I pay. Look into my eyes, we are not the same. Yeah, this is where you fall apart. Yeah, this is where you break. 'Cause I'm in control and you know my name. 'Cause I gave my life, gave it everything. Yeah, this is where you fall apart. Yeah, this is where you break. To everybody who doubted, get on your knees and bow down. Get on your knees and bow down. You better recognize. You wanna talk that shit, time to back it up. 'Cause the best of your best ain't good enough. Playing with my name, now I know you really fucked up. Keep running your mouth and I'ma call your bluff. You'll never know it's the price I pay. Look into my eyes, we are not the same. Yeah, this is where you fall apart. Yeah, this is where you break. 'Cause I'm in control and you know my name. 'Cause I gave my life, gave it everything. Yeah, this is where you fall apart. Yeah, this is where you break. To everybody who doubted, get on your knees now. You're never gonna be enough. So I had this dream and everything, and I watched it come alive. Then I let you in underneath my skin, and I learned to love the lies. Now I lay awake and I contemplate, have I become what I hate? Can I take it back? 'Cause it's all I have. Will they get the best of me? Have you ever had a dream? Would you fight for it? Would you go to war? Would you die for it? So now I'll take my stand. Now I'll make you see that if you seek forgiveness, you get nothing from me.
weight on my shoulders. All I'm trying to do is live my motherfucking life. Supposed to be happy, but I'm only getting colder. Wear a smile on my face, but there's a demon inside. This is so much.
Every day I'm just surviving, keep climbing the mountain. Even when I feel like dying, keep climbing the mountain. Another night, I'm barely holding on. One step away from being dead and gone. In my
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rigs of Rods Stadium Championship Series. We're here live for Arena Tour 2 for the third stop here for the 2015 season. And we are here live in Birmingham, Alabama. And ladies and gentlemen, we're in the most challenging arena of the season here in Birmingham. I am joined in the booth with your play-by-play commentator, Angus Johnson. Angus, welcome to Birmingham. We're here for the first time in quite a while since the 2014 season. How are we feeling here tonight in Birmingham, Angus?
Well, remember, when I called San Diego a gauntlet, this thing is beyond the gauntlet. This thing's a torture chamber with how tight these turns are and how close these ramps are together. Like you said, this is the most challenging track for these guys. They're going to have to think more than they have ever thought before, and it's going to come down to this racing competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host here tonight, Colt Durham, play-by-play commentator, Angus Johnson, and your official here tonight, Bree Parker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Birmingham, and it's time for the racing competition here tonight. Well, Angus, give us a rundown. What can we expect tonight in the racing competition?
Well, we're going to have to expect a lot of people really having to change up their driving styles. Some of these guys drive very aggressively, but for a track like this, you're going to have to be a little bit more careful. You're going to have to think a bit more properly on how you're going to hit everything and just where you're going to land.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce your first race here tonight for round one racing. We got 8 trucks lined up ready here for tonight. Let's go ahead and introduce your first pairing here tonight. Coming out here tonight for the first time this season, Trevor Michaelesco in the black El Toro Loco.
And a guy who has not been beaten in racing yet. It is Cameron Winfield in Gravedigger.
Here comes a great battle for round number 1 here in Birmingham.
Of course, like you said, first time we're seeing Trevor Michaelesco in El Toro Loco. Saw him in Tacoma driving Jersey Outlaw. But now he's in a whole different piece of equipment. Mark Marinkovic was not able to show up for the season, so Trevor has officially taken over his spot, and I think this is going to add a lot more competition.
And here we go, first race for Birmingham Toro off the line.
And let's see how these guys are going to take this turn. Oh my goodness, very hard for both guys. Trevor Michaelesco has a little bit of a hard spot, but Cameron Winfield could not keep up.
Wow.
It looks like...
Oh man! What a pile drive into the wall for Gravedigger.
It looks like it is not going to be a three-peat for old Cameron Winfield. Trevor Michaelesco is going to end the streak.
And Cameron Winfield gets knocked out of round number 1 here tonight. Gonna be interesting for the points battle. Oops. First race of round number 1, already getting some interesting results as we go forward with our round 1 racing bracket. Well, let's get ready for your next race. Another great pairing here tonight in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, coming out here tonight, it will be Miles Jones in Overkill Evolution.
And his opponent's going to be Jaden Camarino in Predator. Miles Jones, of course, has been on an absolute roll when it comes to the racing competition, but Jaden Camarino, he's a guy who can pull out some pretty good upsets. And I think if he can play his cards right, he can definitely nail one right here.
Miles Jones is a tough competitor in the racing bracket. He actually did make it to the finals. I believe it was the finals in week number 1 here in Tacoma.
Yes, he did. He unfortunately had some bad luck when it came to the obstacle course, but right now it's a racing competition, and both are on the line pretty well. But, oh, Predator bobbles up a little bit. He has to make up some ground.
And this is going to be all Overkill Evolution going into the next round. I got to say, Predator looks like a great piece here tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody has mistakes like that. Jaden Camarino, he made up some ground pretty well, but it just was not enough for this tight track.
You know, that Predator truck is an absolute truck that can rip into this dirt with the tire settings that he has on these trucks. He's got some serious cleats. I think actually tonight he's running the BKT tires, so maybe a reason why he was sliding out a little bit there. But Overkill Evolution will go into the next round. So get ready for some more racing here tonight. Some great racing, round number 1 races. And I gotta say, I think this is probably my favorite bracket of the season so far. Of course, Carolina Crusher out for the racing obstacle course bracket. Might be back for freestyle here later on tonight. But only time will tell.
Unfortunately, some truck issues have in fact setting him out, which is unfortunate. This is his hometown show, but there is no doubt he's going to throw down for freestyle.
For the first time this season, we're seeing the Jestalade. It is Alfredo Moya in Jester.
And his opponent is a guy who's not going to hold off. It is Christian Lanoud in Zombie.
Christian Lanoud coming back after a week off. He's here tonight.
That Zombie truck, both of these trucks can really handle these tight arenas pretty well. They have pretty good turning radiuses, but at the same time, you really got to think about it. It's all about your throttle.
Jester, first time seeing Alfredo Moya in RORSCS.
Here we go. There goes the green light. Great start for Christian Lanoud right there.
Jester with a great turn, making up some ground. Final turn.
Alfredo Moya having to play catch up, but it's not going to be enough. Christian Lanoud will make it to the next round.
Jester was making up some ground there. Almost made the comeback.
Yeah, that was very impressive. I feel like if he had just a little bit more distance, I think he would have been able to take that away from Christian.
Very impressed with Christian's laps here tonight. Really hugging the turns. Well, with one more race coming here in round number 1, one of these guys is probably going to be my prediction here tonight for the racing competition here tonight, just because of the way he's been handling this absolute piece of a unit. And that driver who I'm talking about, it's going to be Ace Racer in the Incinerator.
And his opponent, if he wants to make it past this round, though, he's got to beat Cooper Sullivan in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Cooper
Sullivan, the upcoming driver. Gonna be curious to see if he can keep it off the barriers and the walls here tonight with little experience as he has in this field compared to other drivers. He is a newer driver here in the field, so we're excited to see what he can do in this tight little compact arena.
One thing I'll say is Dalmatian is a lot better when it comes to these smaller venues. Ace Racer is a truck that has far wider turns. This is going to be interesting, though. There we go. There's the green.
Off the line.
Great start for Ace Racer. There we go. Ace Racer. He has got that lead into that final turn. Cooper just not able to catch back up. Ace Racer once again going to shock us all.
Now, I will say I was a little surprised there with Ace Racer's final turn. Really washed out in that final turn. Cooper almost made a comeback.
Yeah, that was going to be a battle to the end right there. But again, Ace Racer, man, he can drive any truck and he will absolutely conquer with it.
Well, it's time for your semifinals here tonight. Final 4 here in the racing bracket. And we got some great pairings here tonight. El Toro Loco taking on Overkill Evolution and Zombie taking on Incinerator.
I think if there's one thing that tells you is just how insane this finals is going to be. We're going to see somebody get their first racing win of the season regardless.
Gravedigger was knocked out, so yeah, that is true.
Now, regardless, though, if Cameron Winfield can play his cards right, he can still stay in the points lead by the end of his competition.
Now, that's the interesting part. If he can play his cards right, yeah, he could remain in the points lead if he plays it right, and depending on everybody else's performance.
And considering how his freestyles have been, I think he could play his cards right. But right now, it is Miles Jones in Overkill Evolution versus Trevor Michaelesco in El Toro Loco.
Here comes Trevor Michaelesco with a great round 1 pass. He's kind of been someone everybody's been a little fearful of when it comes to this tour ever since he got put onto it.
Yeah, but at the same time, Miles Jones, he has been absolutely perfect when it comes to these laps, but it looks like Trevor Michaelesco beat him off the line, though.
Well, Miles Jones is right there with him. Better turn for Michaelesco.
It looks like Michaelesco, for the first time this season, is going to make it to the finals.
First and only time so far this season, will make it into the final round, and he did it in an impressive fashion here tonight.
Yeah, took out one of the heavy hitters of the racing competition early into this. So now it looks like Miles Jones, he's going to have to think about how he's going to do the obstacle course.
He's had a rough bracket to go through, too. He had to take out Gravedigger and Overkill Evolution.
Yeah, and regardless, he's got two guys who are absolute, what I would say, underdogs now. Christian Lanuda and Zombie take it on Ace Racer and Incinerator. No matter what, again, like we said, these two are underdogs when it comes to this series.
Both drivers. Christian Lanude really was he's been a big favorite for this series. Although, however, since he missed a second stop, it has really affected him in the points and hindered him. But he's always been one of those guys people have had a good prediction on when it comes to the points race.
Well, considering where he's going to place in this competition regardless, he's going to get some pretty good points, but Ace Racer wants to make sure he doesn't climb any further.
Dead even right now. Final turn. Ace with the better turn.
Ace Racer got a little bit cleaner. Ace Racer takes out Christian Lanude. Wow.
And Ace Racer will go to the finals here tonight. Ace Racer coming in and looking strong into the final round. It's going to be a great pairing here tonight. I will say Michael Lesko's looked a little bit more consistent than Ace Racer, but it's going to come down to the race.
Well, regardless, I mean, you got to remember, Trevor Michael Lesko, he may be more consistent, but that consistency could come to an end at any point. He could end up rolling, he could end up hitting the wall, and that could end up giving the win to Ace Racer. But right now, if Ace Racer can keep it safe, he can get one of the biggest wins ever in his ROR career.
Ace Racer, that one guy who has yet to pick up a win here this season, or ever in RORSCS. He's taking on a guy who's also making his SCS debut here tonight. Or not his debut, but really his main season debut. Let's go ahead and introduce your finals round here tonight. Trevor Michael Lesko in the black El Toro Loco.
And his opponent is the underdog. It is Ace Racer and Incinerator.
Winner of this race is your official racing winner here tonight. It's going to be exciting to see no matter who wins here tonight.
No matter what, both of these guys have a chance to get their first ever SCS victory. I've seen these guys get victories outside of the series, but here we go. We're about to crown the first winner of the night.
For the first time, somebody has matched Michael Lesko off the line.
He's still a little bit behind. It's all going to come down to this turn. Ace Racer goes awfully slow. Trevor Michael Lesko going to get him right at the end, but Ace Racer's flipping over.
Heavy rollover for Incinerator, which means your racing winner here tonight for the first time this season is Trevor Michael Lesko in the El Toro Loco Black. Big win for this guy right here. He's been waiting for it all season long. And ever since he got his name into the pool here tonight for RORSCS, he's been looking to pick up a win.
We just figured that's how it was, and everybody else was just like us, soaking in the rain, baking in the sun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, your racing winner here tonight, it is going to be Trevor Michael Lesko. We're getting a mic down onto the track with Trevor as we get ready for a little interview to see how he's feeling here tonight.
That old red dirt, the first thing you learn is you don't get nothing that you don't earn. Humble pride I grew up on. You find out just how bad you want it. The sun in our eyes and backs to the fences. We didn't know the odds were against us. Hit the wall.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down on the track now with your racing winner here tonight, Trevor Michael Lesko and El Toro Loco. Trevor, congratulations on your racing win. You had a strong bracket to go through. How's it feel to pick up your first win here in Arena Tour 2?
Yeah, man, it feels good, you know. Knocked out the series leader, knocked out Miles, you know, just going through the bracket, smooth corners, and got the win.
Now, Trevor, mindset going into freestyle. You're looking to make up some points here tonight. What is the mindset for obstacle course and freestyle?
You know, in obstacle course, we got a very, very tight course going. I'm going to try to keep my same method in racing, tight corners, keep it smooth. And for freestyle, try to get the biggest air we can. Not too many big air jumps we can get. We got to step up, but it's pretty steep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, your racing winner here tonight and leading into the overall, Trevor Michael Lesko in El Toro Loco. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready for the obstacle course challenge here tonight. Angus, this is probably going to be the most difficult course of the season for any tour. Is this one in here in Birmingham?
Well, this is either way going to be a big point situation. Like we said, Cameron Winfield was a round 1 exit, so now if he wants to really step it up and get into that points lead or keep the points lead, he's got to complete this obstacle course properly.
This obstacle course is going to be an interesting one. That is for sure. This is a tight little obstacle course that these drivers are going to have to attack here tonight. As we get ready for our first driver who's already lined up in the tunnel and ready to go. Angus, let's go ahead and we're going to get ready for our first driver in the obstacle course. Well, your first driver's lined up, ready to go. Let's go ahead and introduce him. It is going to be Miles Jones in Overkill Evolution, hitting the track here tonight in obstacle course.
Miles Jones, of course, could not get to that racing finals, but he still got a chance to take that points lead. He still got a chance to get that overall right now. And I think considering that bad luck he had in the obstacle course last week, I think he's going to pick it up right here.
And here we go. He's got green, and we're starting off the obstacle course.
Oh, that was smart right there. Didn't just send it over that jammer. He actually made sure to go over that very safely. He realizes the most important moment here is to go around the turns properly without hitting those walls and spinning out. And I think he's got a really good pattern going.
Really smooth pass here from Miles Jones. Curious to see how it holds up. He only had a real bobble in that first turn. Of course, Miles flipped it over last week in Nashville, Tennessee. We traveled about 3 or 4 hours down from Nashville down south to Birmingham. And here we are. 17.70 will be the time for Miles Jones in Overkill Evolution. So that is your time to beat here tonight, and it's put on the board as we get ready for our next driver in the obstacle course. Of course, RORSCS brought to you by Werewolf Node Beam. And of course, we're here for the 2015 season here with Arena Tour 2. Mastermind Dalmatian going to be dropped in our obstacle course lineup as we get ready for our next truck. .70 is the time to beat. Angus, what is it going to take for one of these drivers to get the fastest time in the obstacle course?
Well, slow it down right after each jump, making sure to stay as tight as possible, and most importantly, to stay away from that wall. Not only will you get a points penalty if you hit that wall, you're going to lose a lot of speed, and you might even damage that back end, thus preventing you from finishing the course outright. So that's currently the most important part, is just keeping it safe and keeping it steady.
Coming out next, Trevor Michaelesco in El Toro Loco Black.
Trevor Michaelesco, the only guy who can currently double down, and actually now officially the only guy who can do a clean sweep. We haven't seen that yet so far.
This truck looks beautiful.
And right now, though, he's got to take on his obstacle course. Of course, oof, and there we go. And that was a pretty slow start, but I was also very careful right there. Seems to be spinning the wheels a lot more than Miles Jones.
Definitely a lot more ground control, I would say. He's definitely handling this truck beautifully around the obstacles. And he's going to finish it off with a great pass. Oh, my God. And he slams into the wall. That's going to hurt his overall point. Either way, he's probably going to get a great time here, but that is going to hurt his points. And right there, boom, smashes into the wall.
Man, that is an absolutely uncomfortable hit right there. That does not feel good at all. But I think it's. But the question is that time enough to take out Miles Jones?
Time's coming in for Trevor Michaelesco, 17.19. It will be fast enough for the next time, or for the fastest time. Well, let's get ready for your next driver here tonight, as we got our first dog and our only dog hitting the track here tonight. It will be Cooper Sullivan in Monster Mutt Dalmatian hitting the obstacle course.
Cooper Sullivan, another one of those guys who could not finish the obstacle course last week. He had a stuck throttle, which unfortunately cost him a rather nasty wreck, but now that truck looks perfectly fine. And I think this thing has a pretty good turning radius to really go around a tight track like this.
And this is a perfect setup for a truck also, I gotta say. This truck handles fantastic with the right driver behind the wheel.
Yeah, last week he also had a pretty good freestyle. Oh, and there's something a little bit interesting. Kind of hit that at a bit of an angle. Thus meaning he had a bit of a safer turn, but now he needs to pick his speed up a little bit.
Definitely a little slow around these turns. Almost have, oh, there's a backup right there.
There it is. He is pretty much out of contention of getting fastest time right now, but if he can finish this, he's going to get some points on the board at least, and that's what he's going to do.
Well, at least he keeps it off the wall. See here, he backs it up in reverse. Definitely hinders his time. Probably going to be the slowest time on the board so far, but he finishes the pass, which is great. And Monster Mutt Dalmatian with a time of a 22.93. Time to beat still is a 17.19. Let's go ahead and get ready to introduce your next driver who's going to be hitting the track here tonight. And that will be coming up with the only truck with arms here tonight. And that is going to be Christian Lanude in Zombie.
Talk about trucks that can do really well within this obstacle course. This is one of them right here. Of course, another PEI chassis has some pretty good sliding ability.
Zombie and Christian Lanude gonna hit the track here tonight. See if he can take a crack at it for the fastest time in the obstacle course. And what a time it is to beat.
Yeah, 17.19. That is not an easy feat right there. That's a time that can only be conquered through pure consistency. And here we go. He's going off the line. I had a little bit more throttle right there.
Christian Lanude, very talented when it comes to just driving. Look at the way he turned around the obstacle, barely even rolled over it.
Oh, kind of had to check up a little bit right there. Had to stay out of that container. Hits to step up a little bit. But man, he has got a lot of speed going.
Definitely some bobbles there. I think around that, after he hit the racing lane, really started to bobble a little bit, especially with that first jammer hit. Went a little wide right there in the replay. Came around here, and this is where you can see he clips the jammer. Boom, right there. Might hurt him at the time. Curious to see what his time is going to be. 19.21 will be the time for Zombie. He's going to put him in third place. Let's get ready for some more obstacle course here tonight. And I gotta say, the smaller the course and the more I would say, the more intimidating the course, the more entertaining this competition is for me.
Well, right now, here comes what I kept calling him the underdog. Here comes the runner-up, shockingly. It is Ace Racer and Incinerator.
Incinerator and Ace Racer coming out next for the obstacle course.
Let me tell you, this guy, every single week, it almost seems he keeps getting closer and closer and closer to that first big victory in SCS. And man, I would not be happier for him. And oh, that was a little bit smart, kind of turning right before the ramp.
Oh man, he is stuffing the front of this truck, but he's so fast around the turns. Look at the speed.
This is probably one of the fastest kind we've seen. This is actually a surprisingly clean pass. I mean, that was great. Wow.
He did bounce a little bit in that first turn around the car, but I'm going to be curious to see. He was so close to the ramps that he was basically just running over him.
Yeah, I mean, that was perpetual motion at its finest right there. Like I've said before, Ace Racer, man, he can drive anything and he can make it look easy.
Well, he gets a great time, 17.63. That puts him in second place.
Wow.
Well, coming up next, it's a guy who really impressed us all with the obstacle course. With how high up and how well he placed podium position. Jake Camarino in Predator. the Panther.
The Panther, the guardian of the bus, as they say. Whereas this guy, I'm gonna tell you, you said that this guy did absolutely amazing within the obstacle course, and I mean, he's been doing amazing all season so far. Of course, we only saw him last week. That was the first time we saw him, but he already seems to be very confident with this thing.
Here comes the Predator. Had a very high podium position last week. A little bit of a tighter course. Jay usually tends to do better on a wide open course.
Yeah, it makes him feel just a little bit more comfortable. This is a pretty claustrophobic track.
Ooh, great turn.
But it looks like he's got a very, very clean pass right there.
That was actually a really great final turn. He didn't really need to check up anywhere either. He just could have used a little bit more ground speed and a little bit more volume when he's going into each ramp. Time's coming in for J-Cam. 19.38. It's going to put him, I believe, in 4th place. Not too bad.
Imagine if he did get a 13.
That would probably be insane.
That would be an immediate investigation.
Coming up next, speaking of investigations, Alfredo Moya in the Jester Monster Truck.
This is a guy, again, we have not seen this guy this season so far. We haven't even seen the Jester truck so far this season. So I'm actually curious how this thing is going to show up on a track like this.
Jester had a pretty decent pass in racing. Lost round number 1, but he had a tough opponent with Christian Lanude and Zombie.
Here we go. He is readied up. Guy got a pretty good start. A lot more throttle than some of the other drivers, but he's got a much wider turn than most. Wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Ouch.
That might be that might be all she wrote right there. That was a hard hit into the wall. That was not comfortable.
He's not going to finish the pass here tonight. The officials didn't shut him off, but it kind of looked like he just said, hey, you know, the truck has enough damage. I'll wait for freestyle. More truck left here tonight for obstacle course. Cameron Winfield and Gravedigger, the only guy who has the chance to knock out El Toro Loco.
And this is a guy who wants to do it, man. El Toro Loco was the first guy to really knock him out of a racing bracket. So now he wants to make sure to show him that he deserves to be at that top spot.
And I gotta say, he's kind of the first guy in this tour to kind of give Cameron Winfield that competition he's been needing.
Well, Cameron Winfield currently lined up. He's readied. And here comes that green. Oh, kind of bubbled up over that ramp right there. It might be being a bit more careful. But now he's starting to pick it up.
Little bobble over the car.
He got a pretty good turn right there. He's got a lot of speed picked up.
Oh, man. And taps the bare wall. Not too bad with the wall, but he does give it a little love tap.
And flipped it into the finish line. But either way, he is going to get a time.
Curious to see what the time's going to be. Time coming in at 17.73, which means he will be put into 3rd place, which means your winner again once again here tonight is going to be Trevor Michalesco in El Toro Loco. Trevor Michalesco picking up his 2nd win of the night here, and what a great way to show out with points. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into a freestyle intermission, as we'll be right back for freestyle.
Way down, bred by bloodsuckers and dying trees that scream. You never see past scrutiny. way down. Absorb the sun, radiate and peel away, way down. Yeah. Concrete flows like water, it don't falter. To manifest jungles of steel, yeah. Oh, born and raised in the bowels of the streets where glory days. Into my hands, lost my way. All I need is within me. I was born and raised, baptized in the real ground. Way down, hope holds no water, no we don't bother to feed the seed within our hearts. Way down, by blood lies pride and politics, we are way down. Lest we become fruitless, lest we don't succeed, anchored and complacent, we forever sink. Born and raised in the bowels of the streets where glory days. Into my hands, lost my way. All I need is within me. I was born and raised, baptized in the real ground, baptized in the real ground, baptized in the real ground. Yeah, baptized in the real ground. Way down, bred by bloodsuckers and dying trees, we are way down. Born and raised in the bowels of the streets where glory days. Into my hands, lost my way. All I need is within me. I was born and raised, baptized in the real ground, baptized in the real ground, baptized in the real ground. Baptized in the real ground, baptized in the real ground, baptized, baptized.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially time for the RORSCS freestyle competition. Drivers will have a limited amount of time to do whatever they can around this track, whether that be jumps, wheelies, saves, donuts, or something we've never seen before, all to get that biggest score in the top spot.
For the first time this season, or for the first time really for this tour, we will be doing a new point scoring system for freestyle. Time score out of 10 and 2 judging scoring out of 15. Total score still being a 40, but the judges score being a little bit higher of a incentive, I guess you could say, for the freestyle score. Well, it's time for your first truck here tonight. And coming out first, Trevor Michaelesco and El Toro Loco looking for a three-peat.
Trevor now the only guy who can form a clean sweep, but again, gotta remember he took a pretty bad hit, and he also, of course, that's definitely gonna affect his point standings.
This small little arena for freestyle, and there's quite a bit of ramps things you can do here.
Oh, there we go. He's going to stand it up, give everybody that good old photo op.
And here we go to start it off.
Massive leap to start off the freestyle competition. Just slams the brakes right on landing.
I'm curious to see what drivers are planning on doing here tonight with a limited amount of space.
Well, this track is claustrophobic, but it also at the same time is going to separate the men from the boys hard landing on the side.
That old red dirt, the first thing you learn.
Look at Trevor
Nice.
Michaelesco doing
You don't earn.
having some pretty interesting combos right there. Kind of had to check up right there, prevent the truck from really hitting anything. And oh my goodness, kind of going a little bit cattywampus in midair, but just lands it perfectly.
I really think the best run is going to be the run with the most hits and probably the best flow.
I think it's also going to be something, it's going to be one of those runs where somebody's
Here we go.
interesting that we didn't expect. Here we go, massive sky release off the jammer. He's going on the side.
Nice. Great way to handle that situation right there. Really bad spot, not a lot of room. He's in bonus time.
Bonus time.
Yeah, bonus time for El Toro Loco. Oh, wow. Oh, oh. Can he bring it back? 15 seconds left, and that's going to be it. Give it up for El Toro Loco. Almost brought it back.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I was surprised at how late they were on the RAI right there. But I mean, regardless, he had enough time to try and save it. But that truck was really just not cooperating with him right there.
Hey, just about had it too. Like I said, about 12 seconds left on the clock for freestyle. Time score is going to come in and be an 8. A 9.25 and a 9 and a time score of an 8. 26.25 will be the score for El Toro Loco. And that's not a bad run.
That was a great run, especially to start off this competition. I mean, Trevor Michaelesco already showing he's got some chances to be a main field competitor at the World Finals.
At the end of the day, that's what all these drivers are aiming to do here tonight, and can you blame them? Coming out next, it will be Alfredo Moya in Jester.
That's a little bit interesting right here. Of course, this guy showed up as kind of like the field filler to fill in for Drew during the racing and obstacle course, but it looks like this time we're going to have a 9-truck freestyle.
Carolina Crusher will make the competition here tonight. Gonna be closing out our field as we get ready for Jester. Jester trying to get that truck started up. And he's got it started. And it's time to go green.
Here comes the Jester lane. Like he's coming out onto the track. Look at that thing, that beautiful brown caddy. Oh my goodness. In a little bit of trouble right there. Managed to set it down in good timing.
He got into some trouble pretty early on there.
It's one thing that tells us how unhinged this run might become. And look at this.
You're not going to see many wheelies here, especially with the floor space.
Yeah, I mean, we're walking wheelies as much as possible. I mean, this is some place you're going to need a lot of risks. That was interesting. He set a bad spot, but he's going to use this to go in reverse.
Yeah, that back of that step up's definitely going to be the wow factor for these drivers here tonight. Definitely a risk.
I gotta say, Alfredo, he seems kind of a little bit lost right now. Doesn't really know what to hit, so he's kind of just going with whatever is in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, his flow's kind of been killed after that first 20-second period right there. He's really having some struggles here in the arena, but he's in bonus time.
Yeah, I think if he can pick it up, though, and do something we've never seen, I think he could definitely give Trevor a run for his money. But right now, it seems he's really kind of taking advantage of how little space there is to get all these reverse moves.
There we go. Not quite getting it up
And
there.
there we go.
Reverse.
Walks it over.
And you gotta be honest,
One thing
or not to cut you off, but these judges are gonna be a little lenient on the reversers, but this many reversers is gonna hurt, but he fills the clock.
I think one thing I will say is that anytime you need to reverse, a lot of the times he actually reversed into another obstacle to make sure that didn't affect him too much. But yeah, he seemed to have a lot of trouble kind of getting around this track.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his best highlight move was definitely that wheelie he had across the track.
Yeah, like you said, wheelies are not going to be easy here.
He does fill the clock, though. Got a 7.25 and a 7.5, the time score of a 10. 24.75. He's about 2 points short of taking the lead. Well, let's get ready for some more freestyle here for Arena Tour 2. As we get ready for our next driver to hit the track. Someone I'm excited to see because he had a great showing last week. Christian Lanude in Zombie.
Christian had a pretty aggressive run in the obstacle course. That's some pretty good moments in SCS, including other tours. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do on such a tiny track like this, and he immediately floors it out of the gate.
Now that's how you start it off.
But oh, he's already in trouble, already having to back up.
You know, this track is so small. And the fact that Trevor Michaelesco didn't even pull, I don't think, one reverser is impressive in and of itself. This is what these drivers are going to have to try to beat here tonight. Nice!
Oh, kind of a little bit cattywampus. He actually set down pretty well. One thing you gotta say is when you go in reverse, you've got to immediately shift back into drive, and that's what Christian Lanude seems to be doing. He seems to be reacting rather fast to that. He's going for it again. Look at this.
Beautiful. Fans love that. However, he's going to go for this reverser. Alfredo did just do it and not last run. So drivers are going to have to try to get creative here, but but Christian Lanude oh man, he hits the wall. Has a decent run going so far, but he's definitely struggling here.
Was a little bit of trouble. Now he has to pick it up.
Nice.
That was a really well thinking right there. He did not use too much throttle. Made sure the truck is safe, and he's cross-threading.
Turn around.
He's got a good setup right here. I think if he can fill time, he'll definitely give Trevor a run for his money. And here we go, another reverser.
And fills the clock. Give it up for Christian Lanude in Zombie.
I'm actually curious to see how the scores are going to look with this. I mean, that was a great run and it filled time.
Those scores coming in for Zombie and Christian Lanude. Scores coming in at 8.75 and an 8.75. Time score of a 10. 27.5. He will take the lead because of that time score. Because he fills the clock, he's going to get an extra 2 points over El Toro Loco. So 27.5 is your new score to beat. Well, coming up next, it is the Panther, and the Panther freestyles at night. It's Jaden Camerano in Predator.
Now, let me tell you, Jay, this is a guy who knows what equipment he has, and he knows he's going to throw down with it. I mean, I think he knows what his setup's going to be.
And I think this tonight could be a Predator track. Starts it off.
Oh, wow. Great sky wheelie to start it off. Wow.
Now, Jay's one of those guys who really cuts it into the ramps, like right there. Doesn't waste any time whatsoever lining up for the ramp. He just cuts into it.
And there we go. Like you said right there, there's another prime example. He hit that big ramp at an angle, didn't think, just did it. I mean, and
Nice.
it's worked really well for him.
Nice. Combo it up into the cars. And he hasn't even had to back up once, and that's what I'm liking.
Yeah, oh my. God, if he lands too hard on that side again, he might start having some issues.
Going for the step up. Nice.
I gotta say, this is definitely one of the best momentum runs we have seen so far out of the Pizzo stable.
And I gotta say, he's coming around and he has not lifted.
One thing that also
Slap
shocks me,
wheelie. Nice.
I mean, he's got a little under 45 seconds left. There's that backup, but at the same time, he hasn't been backing up nearly as much as some other drivers.
About 23 seconds left here in his freestyle run. Nice
And
move.
look at this.
Oh, man. You know, I was talking about he wasn't backing up, but now he's backing up. Whoa, right into a donut. And he made it into a nice move there. Broken front tire, front knuckle. Well, I'm not sure I did that. He probably would have taken the lead, but probably won't now. Give it up for Jay Camerino in Predator.
Well, sometimes computers just have technical problems. That might have been what happened right there. Maybe his mouse got jammed, and sometimes it just grabs the node beam.
I don't know, man. That was kind of stupid, but scores coming in for Jay Camerino and Predator. He doesn't fill the clock. Gets a 9. Scores coming in definitely hindered him on the score there. 7.5 and a 7, and time score of a 9. 23.5, and I hate to say it, if he didn't do that, we would have had a new leader, but man, I don't know. That was just really weird. And he got a -4 for it also. He did hit the stadium, so I don't really know what to say other than maybe don't do that next time. As coming up next for freestyle, Miles Jones and Overkill Evolution. Still in the hot seat is gonna be Zombie with that 27.5.
Miles Jones had some pretty good freestyle moments so far. I think he can definitely take a win by the end of this season. Like you said, the score to beat currently by Zombie, Crystal Nude, who had an absolutely fantastic run.
And let's see what Miles Jones can do here tonight. And he starts it off.
And there we go now. Starts it off the same way Trevor Michaelesco did, but he did it a little bit bigger.
Nice air.
Oh, that's right. He seems to have a pretty good hit-to-hit momentum so far right now. He's doing pretty good. And here we go. Stands it up. Tries to pull it up a little bit further. Couldn't necessarily get it all the way. But either way, he just keeps on ticking.
It's great momentum so far with a minute left in his freestyle.
Oh, wow. That was
blown
almost
shock.
troublesome.
He is
And he's
flipping
in
it
trouble.
over, and he's up over early with 53 seconds left. He blew out that shock, and it hindered him completely in that freestyle. Well, give it up for Overkill Evolution.
And he's already telling us he seemed to have been having some problems with the front right after that landing, and that might have caused it to hike up, but then he did not have enough room to roll it back over. Very tough break. He had a really good run going.
6.25 and a 6, and a time score of a 6, 18.25. It'll land him at the bottom of our leaderboard here tonight. Coming up next for freestyle, Cooper Sullivan and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Here comes a guy, if he can lock in his excitement with his freestyle runs, but keep it off the walls, can make for a good freestyle here in Birmingham. And he's got a green.
Oh, this dude has been close, laying down some absolute heaters. He just has some bad luck. But, you know, I mean, right now, I think he's definitely got a good setup right now. He's taking it a little bit more careful.
Slap Willie. Nice. Making,
And one thing
doing whatever he can with this arena space right now.
he says, like, I think one thing that's really going to get you that big victory is you're not going to have to back up as much. You're not going to have to correct your mistakes. You're just going to have to keep going and going, not have to slow down one bit. And there we go. Here's some more of those reverse moves. Big hit over the jammer.
Goes into a reverse move. I think this is probably the most we've ever seen reverse moves in Birmingham.
I mean, you kind of have to do whatever you can. You know, if you keep backing up, that can end up deducting your score quite a bit.
About 40 seconds left for Cooper to impress the judges here.
I guess he's kind of that was kind of a bit of a Jaden Camarino hit right there, you know, making sure to kind of not immediately line up, just going for it right in front of him. And look at this.
Bonus time and up and over with 20 seconds left. Give it up for Cooper Sullivan and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Scores coming in for Cooper Sullivan and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. How will it score here tonight? Didn't get very far into the time score, but he did get to bonus.
Yeah, guys, that was a pretty kind of questionable shutoff right there. Maybe it was just that angle that they saw it, but man, I mean, that you gotta feel bad for him. I mean, that could have been save of the night, but wow, he's gonna have a word with those officials after.
7.5 and a 7.75 and a time score of a 7:22.25. Still in the hot seat is Zombie with Christian Lanude at 27.5. Are you ready for our next driver here tonight? Ace Racer and Incinerator. Here comes a guy with more of a longer wheelbase truck. See if it hinders him in this small little arena as he starts it off.
I mean, it didn't hinder him to start off. I mean, wow, what a hit to start off his run.
Probably one of the best starts we've seen so far. Straight up skywheelie off the jammer.
That thing is absolutely bouncy, and I think it's going to really help him in terms of how he can land trucks. It's going to keep his momentum going a little bit. It's going to make it look a little bit more unhinged. And here we go, cross threads over the big ramp.
Got some pretty good momentum flying around Birmingham with a minute left.
Let me tell you, this guy has absolutely shocked me so far. I know this dude is absolutely talented, but I did not expect this dude to be on the level that he is on this night.
Nice there off the racing lane. Probably the best momentum we've seen.
Oh my goodness, and perfect landing. I mean, just kept that throttle going. I mean, he is not thinking right now. No bread, no water, just me as he goes in the bonus time.
That's the biggest air of the night right there.
Oh, and here we go. He's going to do the reverse. Massive reverse hard landing on the back.
That was a pretty big reverser. Crossing
Yeah,
it
he's
up.
a 50. Once again, cross-threading. I think if he fills time, I think he's going to give Christian Lanude a run for his money.
Oh, crazy angle. Getting all sorts of crazy. Hitting everything but straight. And fills the clock with a reverse donut to close it out.
A little bit of Garrett Hansen action right there. This is something we haven't seen tonight. We haven't seen this in Arena Tour 2 at all yet.
Give it up for Ace Racer and Incinerator. Solid run tonight from Incinerator. Scores coming in. Gets a 10 for the time score. and a 10 and an 11 from the judges. Is a 31 flat for Incinerator. That is your new leader. Two more drivers to go here tonight in Birmingham. These drivers battling for that overall event championship. And one guy looking to defend his points lead. It is Cameron Winfield and Gravedigger.
Of course, Ace Racer, he can sit tight right now, knowing that he'll no matter what have a podium finish in both racing and freestyle. So now all he needs to do is just sit back and see who else can take this win.
Here comes the black and green wrecking machine in Birmingham.
Here we go. He's officially kind of looking at it, and he's going to go for his first immediately.
Holy
biggest
cow. Talk about a start for freestyle.
Cameron's already going mad right now. I mean, he is probably one of the angriest men in the venue right now. It is Cameron Winfield.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. He lost round one, didn't win the obstacle course. So, of course. And he's got a serious attack on this track right now. He's got a blown, I think, a sway bar in the rear.
Yeah, but I mean, he's setting it up perfectly. Look at this.
Holy cow.
I mean, he's just taking what Ace Racer is doing, amping it up by 11. I mean, this dude's just sending it over everything with complete reckless abandon.
Oh.
Got 45 seconds left. Pogo's it over the big ramp. Gonna have to back it up a little bit, but that is not stopping much at all. Oh, and here we go. He's in trouble.
Can he bring it back? Roll it over into a barrel roll. He's in bonus time. Oh, and he grip rolls it with 23 seconds left, and that's going to be it for Gravedigger. Tough way to flip it.
That's going to be interesting. I mean, I think he's definitely had a top 3 run going right there, but wow, I mean, that is just not how you want to end it. Either way, I'm probably some of the best, like, wow factors we have seen throughout the freestyle competition so far.
Scores coming in for Gravedigger. 7 for the time score and a 10.25 and a 9.5. 26.75. It'll put him in second place. One more driver to go here tonight. It is Drew Midkiff and Carolina Crusher.
Drew is basically out of contention right now for the overall championship. But there's one thing that's definitely for sure. He's not out of contention for freestyle.
Here comes Carolina Crusher. And he starts
and here
it
we
out.
go. Now that's the biggest start of the night so far. Or not so far officially, as he is the final guy out, but he already has to back it up. Oh, man.
Can't say that backup's going to hinder him too much with how many backups we've seen here tonight. But I definitely got to say, you don't want to do it repeatedly.
Well, he's right now very aggressive. Remember, this is his home state right here. He has worked on fun. He has done or been a part of various events in real life, working for people like Triple B and 2 Extreme here in this very venue. Of course, he's already got a good setup.
Ooh.
He's going full reckless abandon. Oh, I mean, look at this so far. He hits that Van Tech. He just doesn't think at all. He just does it. Oh, kind of have to be a little bit slow right there. That was smart. You really, I mean, with the position he is in, he does not.
Can he bring it back? Roll it over. Brings it back on all 4 tires. Bonus time for Carolina Crusher.
This might be the best we have ever seen Drew do in a monster truck right here. Of course, a obstacle course winner earlier this season.
Can he bring it back? Not enough room. 12 seconds left. Great run from Drew, but I wish he filled the clock. Scores coming in for Carolina Crusher. We got a 9 and a 9.25. Time score of a 9, 27.25, which is going to go ahead and put him in third place here tonight for the freestyle competition. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, your freestyle winner for the first time this season is going to be Ace Racer in Incinerator.
I told you, man. I told you he was going to get a win this season, and he's officially confirmed it tonight. I mean, wow, what a victory for him.
And I got to say, deserving. One of the only guys to only do one reverse all night.
I mean, that was just consistency and perpetual motion at its finest, man. Ace Racer, I mean, without a doubt, as contention to be, actually not just as contention, is basically a certified main field competitor at this point.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, not only does he win freestyle, he is your overall event winner with 23 points. So Ace Racer taking home 2 trophies here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we close out Birmingham here tonight, Angus, any closing thoughts?
Well, this was an absolutely fantastic event. We want to thank the viewers, the fans. Most importantly, we want to send our condolences to the family of Dan Runny, a Monster Truck Hall of Famer, a multi-time points champion throughout multiple different series, was one of the greatest drivers in the history of the Bigfoot team. Without him, Monster Trucks would not be at the level it is right now, and we probably wouldn't even be here doing a stream like this. So, RIP to the legend, Dan Runny.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been RORSCS Arena Tour 2. We'll see you next week for some more action.